of cases of that nature that our attorneys did undertake. In addition to that, there were cases where there were people whose plug was about to be pulled because somebody decided that they really were more expensive being alive than dead. And against the wishes of the patient or the family, there would be cases where a hospital or an insurance company would put pressure to have them be terminated. And so our attorneys would go into court and try to protect those people as well.
I see. So not just the abortion issue, but we're talking about other issues.
Yes.
Say a car accident or an elderly individual, that sort of thing?
Yes. Elderly people particularly are vulnerable because of the high cost of taking care of somebody who's at the end of life. And still they're alive and still they're human beings, and we are there to try to protect their right as well. Now, in addition to that, we have filed legal briefs in support of some cases that have gone to the Supreme Court and done so successfully.
The United States Supreme Court or the Massachusetts Supreme Court?
No,
United?
The United States Supreme Court in the buffer zone case in Massachusetts. It was a case where the abortion clinic proprietors had influenced the legislature to pass a law that restricted pro-life sidewalk counselors from coming within 35 feet of the door of an abortion clinic. Well, their counselors, their job is to try to influence the people coming in to change their mind and to offer support to them so that they would not have to go through with an abortion, and to hand them literature. Now, you can't hand somebody literature from 35 feet away. And it was...
In fact, you have to shout to them practically.
Yeah, you'd have to shout and use bullhorns, and you can't really influence people through a bullhorn. So that law was obviously discriminatory because pro-abortion people could come within the 35 feet and there was no problem. Only pro-life people were restricted from coming within. We took that case all the way to the Supreme Court, and we won 9-0 on the Supreme Court. They said we have a First Amendment right, as every other American citizen has a right, to protest in front of an abortion clinic or anywhere else, as long as we were not obstructing traffic or in any way threatening people who are coming in, which we never do. Our people are always very peaceful and prayerful, but they do want to come close enough to hand literature to somebody. And they've had many instances where a woman has changed her mind at the last minute and a baby has been saved.
Can I ask you, I don't know if you know, I did read that opinion once, and right after it came down, I think two years ago in late June. And it was a 9-0 decision, but the 4 pro-abortionist
liberal judges
went along with Chief Justice Roberts in how they wrote it, and Scalia wrote a response that was scathing, saying we could have ended this whole issue of free speech in front of an abortion clinic, whereas the 5 left open a window. Do you know what that window was? That the 5 left open a window, and the 4... with, the 4 Scalia, he wrote a very clear and scathing rebuke of the other 5, saying we could have ended this whole issue entirely if we had just done something.
I believe that he did issue an opinion of that nature, and I'm sorry that I'm not too familiar with exactly what Judge Scalia said in that, but I know subsequently Massachusetts then revised its law, and they brought the forbidden zone in closer, but still,
right,
there is still a buffer zone.
Right, they can't block the door. They can walk up to the door, but they can't block the door.
It was always understood by our side anyway that we were not there to block anybody, to prevent anybody's access. We just want to be close enough to talk to them.
To see if they would change their mind.
Exactly.
About the Elliott Institute has done sociological studies now because we have a 40-some-odd year history, and they find that 64% of women that have an abortion are pressured into having an abortion, 64%, which is huge.
Well, and this is another area that the Pro-Life Legal Defense Fund has gotten involved in, because there have been cases where a minor girl will contact us, or through a friend contact us and say that she's pregnant and she does not want to have an abortion, but her parents want her and they're putting pressure on her to have the abortion. A terrible situation
Certainly
for a girl to be in. And on those occasions, our lawyers have gone and tried to speak to the parent and try to convince them that they should not pressure the girl. And we've had success in several cases where parents have decided to not force the girl to have an abortion.
Oh, that's great news and great work. Well, thank you so much. And also, I just wanted to make mention, you won an award, the Thomas More Award, handed out each year, which is a very prestigious award. Congratulations on that, Roy.
Well, thank you very much. I consider it one of the great honors of my life to be in that distinguished company.
Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed today's show and found it to be unique, informative, content-rich, truthful, and thought-provoking. Thanks for watching. I'm Brendan O'Connell, your friend for life.
Hi, I'm Colby Mazzarella. Welcome to Life Matters, where we interview guests who protect human life from conception to natural death. Today's guest is C.J. Doyle, the Executive Director of Catholic Action League of Massachusetts. Hi, C.J., welcome to the show.
Colby, delighted to be here.
Thank you. Tell us a little about the Catholic Action League of Massachusetts and how do you defend human life?
The Catholic Action League was founded in 1995. We were the former Massachusetts chapter of a national organization, the Catholic League for Religious and Civil Rights. And in 1995, we became independent to concentrate entirely on Massachusetts issues. As a Catholic organization, we support the teachings of the Catholic Church in terms of protecting human life from conception to natural death. And we defend the religious freedom rights of Catholics and other religious believers and pro-lifers. We were one of the people who argued against the...
Hello, welcome to Life Matters. I'm your host, Brendan O'Connell. Well, today's guest is a mother of 4 children and founder and director of Northern Ireland's leading pro-life group. In 1997, she founded Precious Life after viewing a picture of a baby killed by abortion. Well, welcome, Mrs. Bernadette Smith.
Thank you, Brendan. I'm delighted to speak to you from Ireland. As a voice for the unborn child, and I know many of the listeners will be in agreement that this is a worldwide struggle and we have to unite, and I'm here.
Hello, welcome to Life Matters. I'm your host, Brendan O'Connell. Well, one of the true icons of the pro-life movement, Miss Nellie Gray, passed away in 2012. And they searched around for someone who could fill her shoes, and we think we found that person. Her name is Jeannie Monahan. Well, welcome, Jeannie.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Jeannie, could you please speak first to the legacy that Nellie Gray left regarding the Right to Life movement and the March for Life, which is really an enormous event down in Washington, D.C.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, on that, just on your final note there, the March for Life is the largest pro-life event in the world that we know.